I am Nicola Bressi. I work at the Natural History Museum of Trieste. I'm mainly a zoologist, but I teach also communication of science, and I'm very interested in how to communicate the value of biodiversity. Many people think that a pond is empty if there are no fish inside, and this is the main problem we have to speak about when we have in front of a problem of conservation of small ponds and small lakes. Because people only know fish and they are able to interact only with fish. It's strange because we only eat fish, so fish are not exactly our friends for many reasons. But we don't know the huge amount of biodiversity a pond have, like newts, like frogs, like dragonflies. So the first thing is to explain to people that a pond is plenty of life, even and mainly without fish. Not in a mountain pond without a brook or a torrent, because fish don't have legs, don't have wings, and if somebody don't bring fish in a lake, is very, very rare, extremely rare, I can say just exceptional, that for some strange meteoric events a fish can colonize a pond. Otherwise, isolated like ponds and mountain lakes don't have to have fish. An invasive species is a species that was not naturally present in an ecosystem and don't have enemy or competitors. So if you don't have enemy or competitors, you become invasive. So there is nothing in nature that is able to contain you. And if you augment every year and the number of specimens becomes more and more and more, of course our species disappear because there is not enough space and enough food for all. It's important to have in the mountains a network of ponds because the distance in the mountains for small animals are much more difficult to overcome, because you have valley, you have rocks, you have glaciers, and so it's much more difficult to colonize, even for animals who have legs, like amphibians, a different pond. So to have a network of ponds much more close one to another is much more important in the mountains than on lowlands. It's very difficult to protect species that are not present in the human culture, don't have what in USA they call human dimension. Animals who don't have this human dimension and people don't know is almost impossible to protect, but there is a way. We can protect other species in the same ecosystem that to survive need that the ecosystem is complete. We can call these species flagship species or umbrella species and protect these species that people well know or we are able to make to know to people. We can also protect small important animals, very difficult to make, we can say, sympathetic to people. Biological pollution is terrible. It's terrible for many reasons. The main reason is that biological pollution is a pollution that can grow itself. We can have an example. If I go to a forest and I put in the forest 2 glasses of beer, I can come 20 years later and probably the glass of beer are still there because they are not able to be destroyed in the environment. But still there are 2 glasses of beer. If I put 2 fish in a lake and these fish are one male and one female, after 20 years I can find millions of fish in a lake. And that's the main problem of biological pollution. One of the fish that are much widespread in the world is the goldfish, because the goldfish is very easy to breed and is very easy to see because it's red. We like this bright color and is an omnivorous fish. It eats almost everything. An animal that eats almost everything is not very welcome in an ecosystem because, of course, it eats almost everything. And there's a problem because it breeds a lot. We can know that a female of a goldfish can lay in 1 year 300,000 eggs. So really they are a pest when we set them in a pond. A dog or a goldfish have no any different from ethical or ecological point of view. Both are domestic animals we have created to be in our home or in our garden, and they have not a role in ecosystem. They are alien ecosystem. But it's strange that when we put a dog on a road outside home, we say that the dog is abandoned. But when we put a fish in a lake, we say that the fish have a liberty. So we set free the fish.